Yo guys, welcome back to another episode of Football Checks. I'm Nishak, to my right we got Ty, to my left we got Holmes, and on the far left we've got Paps. Episode 2, today we're going to be speaking about Newcastle v Arsenal. Is there a lack of number 9s in the football game right now? We've got a little quiz as well to mix it up, Jeremy Doherty's performance, and also we're going to be talking about relegation and is the Premier League getting harder for the smaller teams that come up into the Premier League. So we'll start today with Newcastle v Arsenal. It was a spicy game, loads of bad decisions, loads of good decisions, and of course it was 1-0 to the Geordies. So we'll start over with Peter. What do you think of the games? Obviously it was 1-0.
It was a good game. I think both teams are hungry this year.
Yeah.
They're hungry. They both got good squad. They got high expectations.
Yeah.
And I reckon it was everything you expected it to be. Obviously very controversial at the end.
Yeah, of course.
With the goal, I had the goal come along. Was the ball out? Was it offside? Was it a foul? I think there was three different VAR checks.
Three different ways. In one goal.
In one goal.
Yeah.
So it was crazy. But I think Newcastle deserved the win.
Yeah.
And I think they're looking like a strong team this season.
Strong team, yeah.
But it comes back to what I said about Arsenal. To get an injury, Gabriel Jesus, is Nketiah up to the job?
Yeah,
Is he the man to lead you to the title? In my opinion, I don't think so.
Yeah.
In games like that, you need your strikers to be on point, and I think he come off around about the hour mark, if I remember correctly. He didn't really offer much in terms of attacking threat, and I think that is where you're going to see Arsenal start to drop off.
Yeah, over the course of the
season. Even though they dropped points against a good team, it wasn't like a bad team they dropped points against. But I think you're going to see the difference between your title contenders.
Yeah, and credit to Newcastle because they stopped them playing their game like with the wings.
Yeah.
Usually they have Saka and is it Martinelli?
It was on
They
there.
doubled them up.
It wasn't even just the fullback stopping them. They actually had the midfielders playing left back and right back. So like you said, didn't it? Like
they figured them out.
Yeah, Eddie has
they figured
tactical
them out.
genius.
Yeah,
genius.
Yeah.
Don't know how he is, but he is.
And his team's ready to die for him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They always put in a performance whether they win or lose.
So do you think Newcastle's, when I say catching up to Arsenal, I don't mean catching up to Arsenal as a club, but do you think league positions?
Newcastle are a big club though.
They're massive.
They're a big club, but
not Arsenal. But it's not Arsenal.
Do you know what I mean? They faded for 20 years and they've never really, like Arsenal's been in there. They've had Champions League football. It's definitely levels up from Newcastle. But what I mean is, do you think Newcastle are going to be potentially rivaling for the likes of Arsenal and
Newcastle now are always going to be there because of their money.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, what people thought they was going to do with their money is spend it willy nilly. Do you know what I'm saying? Like a Barcelona or do you know what I mean? They did it very smart because even though the people that they're buying, you know what I mean, like the livermentals. Do you know what I mean? These Englishmen. Do you know what I mean? They're not always buying, stars of the game, which I would admit. You know what I mean?
Wilson.
Wilson.
Well, not really, because they replaced him with Alexander Isak. And you look at Alexander Isak, he's the best centre forward young coming up now. Do you know what I mean? So they've already replaced what they need to replace. You know what I mean? Even with like the likes of Dan Burn. You know what I mean? They've got.
Wasn't he from Burnley?
Yeah, you know what I mean. So at the end of the day, he's shown another level. And what was the other centre back? The other centre.
Lascelles. Is it Lascelles?
No, what he did that so
Shaw.
Fabian.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you look at their centre backs, you look at their pairings around the whole squad. It's a young squad.
Yeah. What do you think of Newcastle as a team? Do you think?
Well, they clapped us up midweek, so.
And the thing is that game with United, they had 7 players in that starting lineup who was there from Steve Bruce. So it's not just the money.
They switched
it's
them up.
Not just
they made
the money.
8 changes. We made 7.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even like they played their starting 11.
Starting 11. And they're still on
song. Because everyone's buying into the belief.
Yeah.
The money's just there. The money's there.
Yeah, the money's always going to be there
now.
now.
Know what's happening.
You know what I mean? But I feel like
Saudi money though now, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's even the people they've put in place. So obviously, when you look at their
structure
board,
behind.
you know what I mean. Their board behind them is
I saw what's his
literally.
name? Who's the right back? Bird. Tall brother.
Trippier's the right back.
No, they have a left back then.
Burn.
Yeah, he come out and said like the club, it's a nice vibe now in the club.
Yeah.
So it's a Saudi manager and that's it. Everyone's happy. Everyone in the back room's happy.
Yeah. But they know their role now. Do you know, like back in the day with Newcastle, they probably was not obviously money, but do you know what I mean? Financially, look, I can't do it.
Yeah.
But now they don't have that issue.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So they've gone out and brought. So like the thing is about what I like about Newcastle, they've not brought no glamorous players. So what I mean is they've got good football players like Joelinton. Is it
Joe Linton?
Joe Linton, sorry. So he's a good football player. You've got Sandro Tonali, who's just joined.
Yeah.
However,
of the season.
Yeah, but they've not gone out and got no players that's like. Even let's just say if they got Jesse Lingard, he's not a great player or nothing like that. But what I'm saying, it's a name.
Yeah.
Mark, they could have easily got Martial off you guys.
They could have bought Oldie.
Yeah.
They got good money behind them.
Yeah.
It's not like they're in.
But I just don't think they would have done that because obviously with Eddie
and that's what
with Eddie with the structure because obviously he come from Burnley.
They got a good scouting team. Get the players from young, get them in a good price. You're not getting out price.
Yeah.
But a lot of the players they bought, they didn't even play that game.
Yeah.
Isaac's out injured.
Yeah.
Tonali's banned.
Yeah.
I think Shah's injured.
So they've actually brought in.
Then they come with the false nine.
That's 3 of their players who.
Yeah. Gordon was playing false nine.
That's what I'm saying. My man was false nine.
Yeah. He was.
So do you think? So are we saying it was a good day for Newcastle and a bad day for Arsenal? But do you think Arsenal underperformed, or do you think it was just Newcastle played?
They battled more in it. Newcastle.
I think personally, tactically wise as well, Eddie.
The way he blocked off the wingers.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Stopped Arsenal from playing and doing what Arsenal do.
That's what they do.
Even with Rice in that middle, you know what I mean. He's a better. You know what I mean. Through the middle, you could still see he was still trying to look out for the wings. Yeah. It's not like he said, like, you know what, I'm going to go straight through them.
But they haven't got that number 9 to play it straight through.
No, they haven't. No, that's right. Yeah, and just touching base actually on Eddie Howe. So obviously we give credit to Eddie Howe because he came up from the dirt. He's not exactly your household name.
Bournemouth?
No, but he went from Bournemouth, right? So he took over Bournemouth when they was in League 2, right? I think
he was a player. When did he captain it? Also,
but then when he took over as a manager, I think they was only 3 or 4 points off going down to National League, so non-league football. So he took over, kept him up that year, got promoted the year when he had the free run of the things, if that makes sense. So the season after, took them up. Then he got promoted to League 1. So he done 2 back-to-back promotions. So League 1, League 2 to League 1. And then League 1 to Championship. He failed to come up that season. Then he came up 5th season.
Remember, he moved club. Remember?
To Burnley for a year.
He moved club to Burnley, then he came back to Bournemouth, then he went back again and went to the Premier League.
So I think it was in 5 seasons, he went back to back to back, changed, came back, then went up to the Prem basically. So Eddie Howe, we've got to talk about him, because when he actually came in the Premier League, he actually kept Bournemouth in a league, which is like we're going to discuss later on, is a hard league to stay in.
Oh yeah.
And I think he kept him up for about 7 years or so.
For a while they did.
It was a long time, and they was always a team where they wasn't challenging top 6, let's say. You know what I mean?
But they would always get that result.
But they would try and get in and around the top 10. Yeah.
But even so, like we said, Eddie's always had that tactical esque. You know what I mean? Because like you said, with Burnley and Bournemouth, when you see them play, you knew. You just knew.
Potential England manager.
I personally, Eddie Howe, I would put him in now.
Yeah.
The only obviously, you probably won't agree with me, but I feel that Frank Lampard and Graham should have a shot at the England, because Frank, for me, if you've just got all you have to do is go to a game and pick a team. I think personally that's better for Frank. And with Graham, because you can see with Graham, he's just like an Eddie Howe, where he does improve a team. But I think the Chelsea
Graham Potter.
Graham Potter. Sorry, Graham Potter. And I think personally, but I think personally, he didn't have the full backing of the board. You know what I mean?
So obviously, I think Eddie Howe's definitely the right. Wow. I think right now he needs to stay in club football, because I think right now he's showing why he's so good. And like I said, I think people don't even know that he done that in 6 years, back to back to back, changed team, came back, then took them up. So I think, he's got Newcastle, and the good thing is he's gone to Newcastle at a time where, like you said, they've got the Saudi money.
I thought they were going to sack him.
They've got the Saudi money and try and get some.
Still, I thought the Saudi man would have come in and slapped off Eddie, got a
big
boy manager in, and done it like that.
So we've touched base on Newcastle. We're still going a little bit more, just because there was 3 decisions, as we mentioned in the start. Yeah, the VAR.
Yeah,
right, we'll keep it short and simple, yeah? So the ball goes out or in?
Where did you go with it? Attack of the defender?
I'm not.
That looked tight.
No, I'm not when the ball went over the line before the cross.
That looked
was it out to you?
Hairline, it's hairline.
I would say the ball was out.
Slightly in.
So it's slightly in. Out or in? After seeing it?
I go back to rugby, right? Obviously, I played rugby and everything. And their VAR is so much... With the money that football has, and if you watch rugby and see what they do with their VAR, you hear the ref. You know what I mean? You hear what they say. Even if, like, certain times, the VAR will come up and then the ref will make a decision. Do you know what I mean? You'll say, look, I can't see anything. So at the end of the day, we'll reward the try because that's what I've called. At the end of the day, with football, because they've got this, FIFA don't own the VAR records. And, do you know what I mean? It's just all sticky. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, if we could hear what the ref is saying to the VAR, then it would kind of
to be coming soon.
Understand? I don't know. I don't know.
So did you think it was out or in?
On the aspect of they scored the goal, and if, like I said, when you go back to rugby, but when you go back to rugby, right? I need to know, but personally, I need to know what the ref said to the VAR. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day,
I visually saw.
No, but I can't see the ball. But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, you don't know what the ref has said to the VAR.
I'm not asking you that. I'm not asking you that.
I think out
the ball was out, bro.
Okay, out
the ball was out. Where?
What do you think?
What do you think then? Out me. Oh, I think it was out. I think it was out. They showed the line. I could see the ball was like there. So like for me personally, the fact that it's gone to a goal, right? And then what makes it worse, we got one more decision to go.
Two.
But either way,
so I think
why is there no goal line technology
on the line?
Yeah, there should be a line on the camp.
It's simple. You're getting millions every year.
Yeah. So I think it's out. You think it's out? You
Put a GoPro.
Hairline in. Hairline in.
Get a sliver of paper down there.
I know Omar thinks rugby.
No.
I'm
not hearing that.
Right, so obviously, like I said, listen, take all that out of the mix anyway.
What about the Chelsea game? You can't talk about VAR and not talk about the Chelsea game.
What happened in the Chelsea
game?
Bro, I didn't see it.
that was a whole 90 minutes. We ain't got enough of that. We ain't got enough time.
We haven't got enough time for the Chelsea. But listen,
that was crazy.
Credit to Newcastle, good game. It's a shame that the goal was in the VAR moments because they outperformed them. Whether that game was 1-0 in the end or 3-0 in the end, and that wasn't the moment.
Newcastle
deserved to win.
Yeah.
All right. So we got to move on anyway to our next subject. So our next subject, we're going to be talking about, is there a lack of number 9s in football right now? So, it's hard to say what a number 9 is these days because people now play false 9s and football's half a different game to what it was. But I'm talking
centre forwards.
But this is what we're going to get into. So basically, number 9. You know what number 9 is? If you want me to throw you back to number 9, R9 Ronaldo, Luis Suarez, Fernando Torres, right? So we're going to talk about, is there a lack of number 9? So I personally think, yes there is. There's a whole lot to talk about why there is. Do you think there's a lack of number 9s in the game right now?
Out on the market, yeah.
Yeah? And what about yourself?
100%.
Yeah.
Well, I think it just depends on what you're looking for.
Right, so I'll tell you what we're talking about. Right, so to break it down as easy as this, right? You're a goal scorer, that's a number 9, yeah? Right? If you could name me right now 10 world-class strikers, yeah? Like Man United, for example, or
could
even
go
Chelsea,
could go and sign.
You could say, for example, when Chelsea signed Diego Costa, or when Liverpool signed Fernando Torres, or when Man City signed Sergio Aguero, or you guys signed Van Nistelrooy, that level, yeah. Go name me 10 of them. I'll start with you. Right now,
I wouldn't even say there is 10. Benzema, obviously he's getting on a bit.
Yeah.
He's gone out of Europe.
But we're talking world.
Okay, world class.
Lewandowski. Getting on. That's what I mean.
So you've named me 2 guys just at the end of their career.
Haaland, obviously.
Haaland, yeah.
Kane.
Yeah.
Mid-30s.
Bobby.
Who's Bobby?
Bobby Firmino.
He's faded though.
Yeah, I know.
Right, he's faded. We're talking about. You got to break that down a bit more. Let me break this down for you a little bit more. I want to talk about who Man United, Man City, Barcelona would sign now, here and now for the next 5 to 10 years.
Okay.
Harry Kane's number one. Haaland's number one.
Yeah, Harry Kane.
Harry Kane's number two. No, alright, but this is why. So we're struggling right now. These players all played in the same era in the 10 years, right? Luis Suarez, 1. Van Persie, 2. Fernando Torres, 3. Costa, 4. Falcao, 5. Falcao, 5. Lewandowski, 6. Aguero, 7. Benzema, 8. Tevez, 9. Rooney, 10. Drogba, 11. Henry, 12. Eto'o, 13. Ibra, 14. Cavani, 15. David Villa, 16. And these players are world-class players. Every one of those players will win you football matches. Trying to show you, in the same era, I've just named you 15 strikers, but we can't even name 5.
But is that era the era of the strikers?
Yeah.
And now we're seeing a different game with different era. You know what I mean? Because even so, even when City went on and won it, what's the league with like a striker? What did everyone say? Now they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it.
You can't say you won it without a striker because you had Jesus, bro.
No, Jesus is a what's it?
But Jesus couldn't even lace these boys' boots.
That's what I'm saying.
Never mind those. Only the
Alright, put it this way. We'll put it this way. Yeah, Brazil took Gabi Jesus as a striker to the World Cup
because there's a lack of number 9s. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
What did he score? What did he score as a striker in Brazil? After he was at that World Cup, he turned around and he said to reporters, "I'm not a striker no more. I'm a winger." Right? So at the end of the day, this is why Pep come out and said, "We've only got wingers here," because that's what he stated he was.
Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to say to you. All falls down to this.
You can say that, but the position he's playing.
Yeah, of course.
You can play that.
But Arsenal's main man.
But you can turn around and say, all right then, Gordon was the main striker for versus Arsenal.
That was
No, but that was a false 9. No, that's still a striker. He's still the main striker. Gordon was a main striker against
Alright, now let me
Arsenal.
give you this point. Stop.
No, he's not a striker.
Listen,
That's what I'm trying to say.
Facts, you just stated facts. Now I'm going to state you another fact. Gordon was the main false number 9 in that game.
Yeah.
If you put Tevez, Rooney, Henry, Eto'o in that
Gordon
team,
is not going there.
do you need a false number 9?
Now we don't have that because at the end of the day, a striker can play left wing. You can see Isaac and Callum Wilson when they play. Isaac will go on the left wing. Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day,
it's good.
It's not even 4-4-2. Yeah, but a lot of these times there was 4-3-3. But outside of your team, who would you buy right now? It'd struggle, wouldn't you?
Ivan Toney.
Would Ivan Toney make Suarez's boots?
No.
Yeah, but
Would he replace? No, there's no buts. I'm talking about.
But he's saying like a world class number 9.
Yes, bro. You're going into like too much ifs and buts and maybes and this could. I'm talking about.
Alright. So wait. So who do you say is world class? This in our area.
That's what
Striker.
Yeah.
Striker. Haaland. Harry Kane. I'm not even going to go to the Benzemas and that one because they're in this flipping list. And this is older list now. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm on about right now. Man City's not going to buy Lewandowski, let's face it, are they, right?
No.
You know what I mean, G? Because they want to win the league for the next 10 years. So why are we going to go and get a man for 6 months on
There's not many.
So that's what I'm trying to say to you. So back to my point, there is none. Only Haaland and Harry Kane is world-class strikers. Osimhen's next up. Alvarez is next up. That's my list there. I can't name it.
Hold on.
Darwin Nunes is
next up. What is Osimhen next up?
He's a flop.
No.
He was on team.
The movement is crazy.
That one ball from Trent flew the ball over. My man just controlled it lovely, volleyed it over the bar.
Nunes won it.
If all these men were here now,
Yeah.
they would all be out as number 9s running the team, banging in goals.
Banging in goals, even in any team. If you
Yeah.
dropped any one of them man in your team right now, they'd be doing what Haaland's doing. Aguero's did that in your team. Tevez did that in your team. So that's my point, bro. I'm not saying what the game's missing and now.
But I think personally,
but
at the end of the day, when you're saying about missing world class,
they're being
our teams. No, but our teams now deteriorating because you look at Juventus, right? What's their striker, the Serbian?
Oh, flipping.
Yeah.
Not Milinkovic.
Vlahovic. Yeah. He's not world class like you're saying, but he's still
Next
like a next up.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, is these top teams going away from a main striker because of this aspect? Because when you're trying to replace them,
there's no one to
replace them.
It's a hard one
Because even personally, if I'm saying even players coming up, Benjamin Sesko, he's a very good striker. I thought United, you know what I mean, was going to get him. So at the end of the day, there is strikers out there, but I don't think teams are taking a punt on them. Because they rather go, you know what, we can go get a fast winger. Why do we need a striker that can pull it in the thing?
Who's Real Madrid striker?
They do a false, again, they do false. They do
But that's what I'm
Rodrigo.
trying to say. I didn't even talk about teams like, so right now in the world of football, right? We were saying,
Well, they got Joselu. They got Joselu, but he's a squad
that's what I mean, but
player.
I'm asking the question. 5 years ago, I know it's Ben. 10 years ago, I know it's this man. You know what I mean, G? And that's what I'm trying to say to you. Like, it's a debatable. Like, it's a good talk to have. So it's like it's a mad thing now to just look at the league, and think Haaland. No, Haaland's a boss, right? And to be fair, he could kick it with any one of these man. If you talk about the short goals he scored in the short time, right? But I was gonna say, outside of him, I look around and I think I'm always crying for Chelsea to get a striker. Yo, we need a striker.
But even so, even if you look at the league though, in the past, or we'll say 3 years, who's been top goal scorer? Mo Salah. Do you know what I mean? Underneath Mo Salah was Harry Kane. You know what I'm saying? He's next to it, and then it would be Son. What are we calling Son? A striker or a left winger? Do you know what I mean? So it's showing you in the past 3. You know what I mean? They're wingers.
But then is that football as a whole? Because when I used to watch the Champions League, and I used to see, for example, Barcelona against Man United or against Real Madrid or against, but the whole team is full of stars. Top to bottom. It's like a dream team. Bro, right? Do you know what I mean? Remember like the Milan team from back in the day when they had the Crespo. Like everyone, the team just sick, bro, from back to front. The team sick.
Even Man United with Scholes
Now you're getting 4, 5, 6, 7 elite players and the rest. Okay, he's good.
But even Man City, I feel like Man City are kind of like almost making stars now. You know what I mean? Like when I say stars, I'm on about
personally, you have to nowadays. Look at Real Madrid. Jude Bellingham, they got that Arda Gullia. Do you know what I'm saying? So they're saying, you know what, you've got to make him, and they're getting that Endrich, that Barcelona, and he's just had his first call up for Brazil. He's 17 years old.
I think we're at a mad time now because we've lost a lot of legends.
And I think this is personally why
switch over period.
And I think personally that's why we're seeing, like you say, like a lack of number 9s because now we're going into a different territory.
There's not a lack of number 9s. There's a lack of superstar number 9s. Because every team's got a striker. Every team's got a striker.
Name brand.
Every team's got a striker. They might not be name brand now because we're losing all those legends and these new waves coming through, but 3 to 4 years, you should be able to. Obviously, Haaland.
But even so, if you look at the Premier League,
Bellingham, he's setting the marks.
I think it's mad. But obviously, we leave it there anyway because we could go all day. Like, obviously, you think there's a lack of number 9s, and I'm not on about like for football how it's changed for those names. Do you think as well?
But like I said, I think we're just in an era of we're creating these strikers now. Where when we was growing up, we already had the strikers. Do you know what I mean? All of these players, if you think when we was growing up, they was already 25. Do you know what I mean? Where we're looking at strikers now, bro, Evan Ferguson, 19 years old. Alexander Isak, 19 years old. Haaland, 23 years old.
But the thing is with that, with them players in that league, if on that list you gave, if it wasn't for Messi and Ronaldo, any of those could have won the Ballon d'Or. I would have said, you know what, they deserved that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Suarez went to bloody Barcelona, scored all their goals and still didn't win.
All of them on that list. All of them on that list.
Fernando.
Even if you look in the past 2 years,
any of them could have won.
No, but the reason why I mentioned my purpose for it was just to show you. Dzeko, Balotelli and Negredo was Sergio Aguero's backup. Dzeko used to win you man matches. If you put Dzeko in Chelsea's team now, I'd be buzzing. You probably have him over Nunes. You probably have him over Martial.
Alright, if you're saying that, I say Lukaku should be on that list, and why he shouldn't. Why Chelsea didn't keep it?
Because he's been pissing around for the last 5-6 years of his career. But anyway, we'll cut it short.
Chelsea don't go enough after that.
You might always seem to end it on Chelsea. Right, so this week we're mixing it up a bit. Right, I was meant to do this last week to be fair, but we've got a quiz for these boys. You know what I mean? It's called How Well Do You Know Your Teams, Peter? Teams. We're getting to that on episode soon. Anyway, right.
So we got hella people that want to forward.
right now, bro.
Team.
We're coming with
Here's the hint, Peter. Yeah, it's coming soon.
We got photo
Right,
evidence.
so anyway, take your pens and papers from now, yeah? Got your pens, got your paper, yeah? We're good to go. Got a little quiz. You don't need this to the end anyway, boys, alright?
Alright, okay.
Right, so how well do you know your team? So we'll start with...
Man, I got designer pens. The budget's high for this episode, isn't
That's
it?
it. So, these are Champions League questions, basically.
Oh, God.
Omar, we'll start with you first, Mr. Know-It-All. Who was the first manager to take Manchester City to the Champions League semi-finals? Was it A, Mark Hughes, B, Pep Guardiola, C, Pellegrini, or D, Roberto Mancini? Tick, tock,
No, just say it out loud, bro.
talk. No, I'm joking. Nah, I'm joking.
What is it?
No, you got to say it out loud. Yeah, you got to say it out loud.
what's it? So why do we need to pay?
Right, so A, Mark Hughes.
Okay.
A, Mark Hughes. B,
It was
Pep.
Mancini.
Wrong.
Pellegrini. Isn't it?
Pellegrini it was. C. Right, cool. So, no points for you.
Excuse me.
No, I'm joking,
Excuse me.
Right.
Oh, bro.
You got two football teams, so I could ask this question twice. Who was the Liverpool manager in the 2005 Champions League final? Was it A, Gerard Houllier,
Houllier, bro. Come on.
B, Roy Hodgson?
Gerard Houllier,
He
bro.
doesn't even want to go.
Guys,
That's how I know you're not a fucking Champions League Liverpool.
I got it wrong.
Of course it was Rafael Benitez.
No. Ask him what Chelsea, bro. Ask him what Chelsea. Ask him what Chelsea.
Yeah. Who won the Who was the manager of Champions League for Chelsea 2012?
Di Matteo.
He used to be a Chelsea fan.
Hey, do you remember last week?
No.
What was the person's name? What was the person's name?
Right. Because of that answer, right, Peter, I'm so sorry I got to do this today. Right? Who's that? Who's that? Yeah? Did you think that?
No.
Yeah? Okay. That's why you got that answer wrong. Right?
Trust me.
Yeah, you'll see this episode and you'll see what that photo was. Anyway, moving on now, yeah? Tie, right? It should be an easy one anyway, but you know. How many Champions League titles did Sir Alex win? Was it A, 3, B, 2, C, 7, or D, 5?
5.
You man are hopeless today, brother.
Nah, I was fucking with John.
2.
Yeah.
Brother,
Yeah, it was gonna get
5. Where did you
Sorry,
honestly think Man United's only won the Champions League how many
3
times?
times.
And you thought he won it 5 times? You might need to cover these shirts.
Pull out the
tonight,
photo
boy.
of him in the Bournemouth, told you.
Oh, so no one's got points today. Right, this is legendary. This is.
We'll be able to bonus to it.
These are easy ones, brother.
That's a bonus.
I could have said every one of these answers anyway, right? So Omar, back to you now. Right?
said Gerard
You need to
Houllier,
get
bro.
this one anyway. I think you
No,
lost.
I said Gerard
Houllier. You said 5 titles, even though Man United's nowhere near that. And you. Anyway, Omar, who was Pep's first signing? Was it A, Jesus, B, Leroy Sané, C, Bravo, or D, Gundogan?
Even I know this one, bro, so you gotta know this one.
Pep's
Gundogan.
first signing.
No.
Gundogan, yeah?
There's Leroy Sané, bro.
Ding!
It was Gunda.
He's got it right.
Bro, Gunda was his first
1
signing,
point
bro.
to the City.
I beg you edit me talking shit.
I should be asking this Chelsea questions right now anyway. But anyway, how much did Liverpool pay for Salah? So we're on transfers, by the way. This question is transfers, that's why I asked him about that. So how much did Liverpool pay for Salah? Was it A, 50 million, B, 27.5 million, C, 36.9 million, or D, 43?
I think it's 36. That number is right. I think
36.9,
it's
yeah?
36, yeah.
He's got it right. Tie pressure's on now, brother. Right, so, okay. What year did Pogba join Man United for his second spell? So not when he joined as a junior, when he came back underneath
Took him
that's the
Pogba.
one. Was it A, 2014, B, 2016, C, 2015, or D, 2017.
A few moments later.
Nah, been around for what, 3 years?
Do you want one more time? Me to read you the numbers. You want to? That's your
Go through the numbers again.
So A 2014, B 2016, C 2015, or D 2017.
Wow, we didn't need a rim back.
15.
Yeah.
1 year short.
16.
2016, yeah.
You didn't get dates or numbers.
I got numbers, bro. That's
Yeah,
I got
2016, so it's 1-1
my team
nil
now.
right now. So far you've answered, what, 2 questions, so we got... So this is the actual, not the final, but we may not even need the bonus.
No, there's no
Yeah.
Because you might messed it up in the first hurdles. Right, okay, so Omar, where are you? Gone too far there. Here we go. This is a good one for you, mate. Number 9s, as we said, right? So, goals we're talking about. How many Premier League hat-tricks did Sergio Aguero get for Man City?
Brother.
Was it A, 12, B, 10, C, 11, or D, 9?
12.
I think it's 11.
He's got it right. He's got it right. Didn't even need a second. So Omar's got 2 out of 3.
Yes.
Me,
You
yeah?
got 2 out of 3, and you got 0 at the moment.
I got one.
That's next question
Is he
now.
on 0?
Yeah.
Man like Pabs, yeah? Okay.
My G.
Who scored the most Premier League goals out of A. Drogba, B. Inal? No, I'm joking. That's Chelsea's question. The Liverpool man. Right, so you would have known that. Right, so but we are on this, right? So who scored the most Premier League goals out of Fernando Torres, Michael Owen, Mohamed Salah, and Luis Suarez?
Salah's top 5 goal scorer, bro. It's got to be Salah.
So you think he's Liverpool's all-time Premier League goal scorer? Yeah, he scored the most goals out of those man, basically.
Yeah, because he's highest in our overall goal scorer, and he's top 5. It's got to be Salah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ty's lost anyway, but we're gonna do the end one anyway, yeah. And whoever wins that one is not the winner of the whole thing, but you know what I mean. You gotta
Carry this on next week.
Yeah, put it back, right? So okay. How many goals has Wayne Rooney scored for Man United? Is it A, 253, B, 243, C, 263, or D, 233?
I'll say 53.
He's poured one gut for the Reds, yeah?
Yes, T.
Okay, so 2-2-1, right? So, you're going to need your pens and papers for this, right?
It's for all of us.
This is for all of you, right? Quite an easy one if you think about it. Yeah, but you might get a bit techie, right? So, I need you man to write it down, not looking at each other's papers, yeah? The camera's looking anyway. So, name the all-time Premier League top 5 goal scorers in order from 1 to 5.
For our club.
To the Premier League.
No, Premier League.
Oh,
Premier League. All time from 1 to 5. In order. What's that? Black paper?
Bro, it's underneath, obviously.
You got down 3. Come on, geezer. And that's in order as well, yeah?
Yeah.
You got yours?
Yeah, I read that too.
You boy should have put down names even if you didn't know, man. He's actually completed 5. I'm actually going to give him the quiz, right? He didn't get it right.
He can take the quiz.
No, he didn't get it right, but because he wrote down 5, he got it. But I'm going to give you I'll give you his list first. So he's obviously got Alan Shearer, Harry Kane, and Aguero. Right?
No, but was he in the top 5?
Your top 2 was right. So Harry
So Aguero's not
Aguero's not in it.
So right, so Alan Shearer,
that's all I care about.
Harry Kane, and Aguero. Omar said right. Then obviously Ty said Alan and Wayne. So your 1 was right. Yeah. And obviously P, I'm giving this.
Not Wayne.
Alan Shearer, number 1. Harry Kane, number 2. Wayne Rooney, number 3 was right. Then he said Aguero, which Aguero's actually 5th.
Yeah.
And I'll give you the proper list now. So P was right, he was 1 away.
Okay.
So Alan
Salah
Shearer.
though. Salah not in it?
No.
Oh.
No.
Alan Shearer's number 1. He's not even nowhere near it, that's the worst thing.
Right.
Alan Shearer's number 1
Yeah.
on 260.
Yeah.
Harry Kane's on 213 in number 2.
Is it
113?
No. Wayne Rooney on 208. Andy Cole on 187.
Andy Cole!
Andy Cole on 187 and Sergio Aguero on 184. So like I'm gonna say, man,
I got four out of
Peter's won the quiz anyway because he won the bonus and he got the points in the first. So he knows his team a little bit. They're bonding. AKA Pabs, yeah, my guy, yeah. So anyway, we're talking about Jeremy Doku's performance quickly. So Jeremy Doku, we got the Man City man here, right? So we're not going to start with you. Let
me just say something. Last episode, someone said something about Doku. Yeah, it's not really. Right. At the end of the day, I've always said with Doku, with Man City, they replace not who's just left. They replace someone that's left in the last 2 years. So you look at Doku now, and the same with when we got Grealish. Grealish is a very different player to Sterling. Yeah, but I feel like last season we needed more of a Grealish on the wing to hold defenders and very technical, right? How he was playing. But now with Doku, he's the replacement of Sterling.
Sterling, I'm glad you said that.
Right?
Because I've been in my brain. I said that to you on the phone the other day. I said he's that back now.
Yes, he's the replacement for obviously Sterling, right? Where Grealish now is going to be on the back burner. But I think personally,
he was more of a Mahrez sort of style of player.
Wow, I think obviously at the start of this season as well, he's been injured. Do you know what I mean? It's just like a Stones. Do you know what I mean? It's not helped. So now it looks like, you know what I mean? Doku is way in front. But for me personally, Doku.
So you've seen it before. What do you think? Obviously, Doku.
Who did you clap at? Who was it?
Bournemouth.
6-1.
6-1.
It's ridiculous. 4 assists, 1 goal.
Yeah.
One knock. That second one should have been his.
Oh, well, they can change the back. Yeah. Oh, wow, he was going out.
It was off target.
Yeah, he was going out.
But either way, 4 assists, 1 goal. Killing it.
Youngest to ever do
that
it.
One point he gave out to Silva.
So when he won.
And he definitely looked like, to me, I'm glad you said about the Sterling because I phoned Peter the other day.
I don't think Sterling's doing what he's doing now.
I said, Pabs,
no, at the start, when he come to City, right? Well, when Pep come to City, that's what I'm saying. I see a lot of resemblance between what he was doing with Sterling and Doku. But I think personally, Doku has both legs that he can shoot off. Right, he can pull it on the right, he can pull it on the left. Where Sterling was more mainly one right. Where Doku, you can pass on the ball, you don't know whether he's going to go down the line or he's going to cut on inside and then pass it to
It was the first goal for me that killed it. Did you see when he just popped it to someone, they popped it back
Rodri.
And he's one-on-one in on the goal. Did you see the goal?
The movement was nice.
Do your homework.
I'm quiet over
he skipped that ball out the ground.
But this is where I was coming back to when you said about our bench. Personally, I get it, but we replace, like I said, Doku is now starting.
You might have to replace faster.
Grealish is off the bench.
But maybe
Grealish is still
faster. You need to do it faster.
But maybe,
waiting 2 years to replace Sterling. Now you need to keep moving.
It could,
it
could have even been where my point was coming from, like what we're saying about household names. You've got a lack of household names on the bench now. That doesn't mean you've got a lack of
quality. Even for the last goal, what's it, Bob? Oscar Bob, Norwegian, that cross. You know what I'm saying? Man is only 18, 19 years old.
So even I was thinking, who? And I remember seeing it.
But then when you look at the team on paper and you're looking down the substitutes,
you're looking at the names and everything.
It's because City's been such a great team.
What's your defender called?
Sergio Gomez.
Sergio Gomez. You're thinking none of these. Looking at it playing,
like you said, with lace boots on, you know what I'm saying? But
then when they get on the pitch, so I might be wrong.
I said that from the start.
But for now, I'm sticking by it. Right at this moment, I'm sticking by it. So we'll see.
And I did say that though. Remember, I said Pep reminds me of now what he's doing with Man City is kind of like that Fergie settings, when my man will have we haven't got Gary and what's the brother called, Gary and Phil, but now we got the 2 twins.
Fabio and Raphael.
One make it, one don't, but it don't matter because you man need to watch videos. Then obviously I think even like to a degree he had Nani and Ronaldo together, which were kind of like you two are supposed to now be the new two. You know what I'm gonna say? And I think they replaced Ryan Giggs and
Beckham maybe.
I can't even. You're a Man United man. Speak up, brother. No, but you know what I'm saying, innit? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. 100%. Like that's not what we're seeing Pep's doing, right? So Pep's got Sterling, and he's probably realised Jack's a boss, and I like what Jack does, but I miss that directness. Because if you think about it, Mahrez is more of a chop chop, whip it, chop chop, top left. Then you used to have Sterling, which is you give him the ball, he's brave. He's going to go past 1 or 2 man, he's going to run at you. Even when you're tired, he's going to run at you. Even if you can't do it, he's going to run at you. Kevin De Bruyne is a whole different player. But this is what I'm going to say. When he took Sterling out and put Jack in, I remember going to games with you last season. We watched the Chelsea game, didn't we? And we also watched you in the Champions League against, I can't remember who it was. But you know the game I went about. And we was watching Jack hard, and we were saying, he's good, don't get me wrong.
Come to that game.
You did, yeah. But what we were saying was, there's nothing wrong with his performances, but he's more of a start, stop. So he doesn't necessarily run at players. He might.
But I think personally, Pep told him to do that.
No, but I'm just trying to say.
I'm saying that's the difference.
It's a completely different place. But I'm just trying to say to you, in that year, Pep's probably watched what we've watched. Jack's amazing, but I need that runner again. I need that guy who just goes at you. Do you know what I mean? Just keeps going and going and going.
Where did Doku come from?
Where did he come from?
France.
French.
But this is the difference. Is like you said, and I don't think that Man United pay tax money. But you see, Anthony, right? You went 97 million on him.
He's a 40 max
and
player.
Doku, we bought Doku
No,
for 60.
but don't get twisted. We told him, my man said buy him from ages ago. The next thing you know, you're paying last minute money on it.
But even so, you can see, like, obviously, yet again, big up Tiki, because at the end of the day, our director of football is one of the greatest, one of the best. But you can see the difference between United, do you know what I mean? And how they're going, do you know what I mean? Because even, how is it that Todd Bowley, if you even, like you said, we said last time, with the contracts, so he went something different. How is it that, you know, United being the big United, you couldn't even think of this? Do you know what I mean?
Bruv, we got Harry Kane on an 8-year deal, bruv.
Harry Kane?
What? Not Harry Kane.
That's what you're smoking, bro.
Yeah, he's still dreaming.
He's still dreaming. Man had a dream.
Harry, he's on 8 years. Maguire.
Yeah, what the fuck was Harry Maguire for 8 years?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to agree with it.
We can do long contracts for a minute.
No. But the difference, I say personally, Harry Maguire is still in a learning stage. But you as a United, you thought he was the finished product, right? Where you can see now, he wasn't. He still had a under. But I think that's personally having Varane and Butcher take his place, and he has to basically refresh. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit better for him.
Butcher.
Martinez.
Oh, Ratatouille.
It's true. But listen, anyway, right? Obviously, Jeremy Doku, he looks like the next Raheem Sterling for me, and I think if he's working with Pep, I think he'd be awesome.
Don't say the next Raheem Sterling. The next. He's a next winger.
You name me something. Since Sterling signed,
no, I don't like, right, at the end of the day, everyone picks Haaland for Haaland. Yeah, you don't say, Haaland is Lewandowski in da-da-da. At the end of the day,
he might be that next player.
By
the way, let me just say something, right? So Omar, right, every single time a City player leaves Man City, he posts them on his Instagram, right?
No.
Fair dues, you go farewell.
At the end of the day, I can say, no. It wasn't a Sterling hater. I didn't like how he left the club and then went to America and he did that interview for Chelsea and he was like, I just didn't have it in me no more. I didn't have that fight. At the end of the day, like I said to you on the phone before, Walker got atted out by Pep, before the finals of Champions League and everything, and what did he do? What did Walker do? He put on his boots and he went back to fighting, and now see, he's our captain, This is the determination of fight.
I hear that.
So don't start.
What do you want to say now? Do you want to say farewells now?
It was a good goal yesterday, You got Sterling,
But did City... They obviously now had the injury to Haaland. Did they get lucky that they weren't against a good opposition? Because
in when?
What?
Against Bournemouth? Because he went off at half time.
Yeah, but we were still like...
Brother, they ran.
Alan didn't even score.
You was free.
Alan didn't even score.
But what I'm saying is, bro, like...
It was the Doku show.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Are we going to... do you think we're going to see that against top 6 clubs? Or do you reckon Bournemouth... Bro, it's 6-1. Bournemouth roll over from middle.
Yeah. I can still see that as against a top club.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've got Doku, Julian, Haaland, Foden, or even if you just put Bernardo Silva, that's a hell of a force. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's a hell of a force for any Rossa defence.
All right,
you know what I mean? And then when you put in one of the greatest midfielders when he's fresh and fit after Christmas.
Who's that Sterling? No, right, we're going to leave it there anyway, yeah? So what we learned is Jeremy Doku is not the next Sterling, but he's going to be a good player.
He could be the next best winger that we see in the Prem.
Yes. Yeah, so our last subject today is going to be about the difference between the Championship teams and the Premier League teams, meaning when they come up, is it hard for the the Championship teams to stay up into the Premier League? So I'll give you a list quickly here, right now. So this year it's Burnley, Luton and Sheffield that's come up. Last year was Fulham, Bournemouth, Notts came up. And Norwich, Brentford and Watford the year before that. Leeds, West Brom and Fulham. So how the league currently looks right now, out of those teams I've just mentioned, I think only Brentford are in the Premier League.
Brentford, Bournemouth and Fulham.
Yeah, but these guys have been relegated, right, since they've come up.
Yeah,
so we'll start with you. Do you think it's getting a bit hard for these teams to stay up?
I feel like they need to come in and think they can't just play how they're playing in the Championship. Because Burnley right now, they are getting smashed.
I mean, weren't they like unbeaten? Unbeaten last season.
Yeah, the most.
And now they're bottom.
Crazy. Burnley doing that. Yeah, so, but they did do well, didn't they? Yeah.
They done well last season.
But yeah, it's hard for them. Like
but it's a different
ball.
When
Leeds first come up, they tried to play the same way. They was getting smashed and then they stopped.
But it lasted of the season though. But was that change detrimental to him in the end? Because Bielsa kept him up. Well, I don't think he finished. I don't even think he finished that season. But they stayed up that season, albeit it was at the end. But did the points they accumulated playing that way keep them up that season?
Yeah.
Because if they would have sat back and not tried, they probably wouldn't have got as many points as they did.
Yeah.
So it's a hard one really, but I think it comes down to money mainly.
Yeah.
And that's the big difference you'll see now between the teams at the top and the teams at the bottom. You see.
Well, it's infrastructure as well.
And infrastructure, like Nottingham Forest had a big investment of money. Pretty much bought 20 players, put them all together and still finished 16.
Yeah, because even Lingard went there, which was a strange one.
Because all 200k a week, I heard.
Yeah, and the thing is, what I think is weird about that is like he had a choice to go West Ham. You just come from Man United. Why do you think he went there from Man United?
I don't know.
He was looking sharp at West Ham as well.
Yeah, and that's
why they didn't want to let him go.
That wasn't it. Game time. West Ham was more of a squad player where.
But he went there was a star.
I think wage demands as well.
Yeah.
But
it's
still got his wage.
But remember, it's the difference between you going there on loan and having a big, you know what I mean? Because he did have a big impact.
Massive impact.
But, like you said, money comes into it, you know what I'm saying? And these things, you know what I mean? Am I going to be a squad player or am I the star player like I was last season?
Am I going to be the top player?
So is he there now? Is Lingard there now?
Lingard is right now.
He had a 1 year contract in there. Okay, so what we're saying.
Job seekers.
He was in Dubai because he was training with Steven Gerrard's team, and then they turned around and I don't think that they signed a contract.
Bro, even the side is saying he's asking too much.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Back to the original thing. So obviously this year we've got Burnley, Luton, and Sheffield. It's going to be hard to gauge where they are. I personally think Burnley probably may go down. Luton will go down.
They've won one game.
Sheffield,
every team.
So every year, do you think these teams that's coming up, right? They're going down, getting the money, and going back up. Fulham's a perfect example of that. Because
at the end of the day, the infrastructure, you got to think there's a big gap between the Premiership and the Championship.
That gap's getting
Even
bigger.
and that's what I'm saying. But the gap is getting bigger, way bigger. Because even when we look at Luton was a surprise package. So you got to think any Championship side that's a surprise package coming into the Premier League. They're gonna have to do exactly what Luton did.
You know what happened to Luton the first?
Because they had to go and do the VAR.
They couldn't play no home games.
Well, let me give you the stats here.
Because the stadium wasn't
infrastructure.
Here's the stats here, right? So in 2020-21 season, right? Leeds, West Brom, Fulham came up. Fulham, West Brom, and Sheffield went down.
So 2 out of 3.
So 2 out of 3. In 21-22 season, Norwich, Watford, and Brentford came up. Burnley, Watford, and Norwich went down. So again, 2 down. Yeah.
Lasted 1 season.
And then Fulham came up, Bournemouth came. So in 22-23 season, Fulham, Bournemouth, and Notts came up. But last year, only Leeds went down. Southampton and Leicester, and tell a lie, Leeds didn't even come up that next season. So it was only last season for the first time, 3 out, 3 in from different.
Yeah.
So before there's been a bit of a trend, but now we're saying that we reckon
only 1 stay up.
But is that gonna have
but even so, that's 1 season.
Is that now?
For the next season, we're gonna see exactly the same thing where Burnley, Luton, and Sheffield go down.
Is that gonna have a knock-on effect to the league now because we've got effectively 6 Championship teams in the league, and we've lost 3 teams who were in Leicester were in the league for a long time. They won the league. They won the league. Leeds. Okay, they was in it for a season or 2. Southampton, they're always up and down. But now we've got a couple of teams who haven't been in the Premier League before. Luton's never been in the Premier League. Obviously, Brentford, they've been in and they look like they're here to stay for the next few years. But
the new Bournemouth,
has that weakened the Premier League? Because now we've got 6 clubs with a smaller budget. Who can't necessarily compete with the bigger teams now? Because let's not forget, Leicester had a big budget. They had some good
Madison,
they only got rid of the good players when they got relegated. So
Jamie Vardy, and even though he was old, he was still whacking in goals.
So sometimes the infrastructure needs to go down. That's one thing that we do see with all of these teams. Is at the end of the day, if they don't get that infrastructure right when they first come up, you know what I mean? They ain't staying up. And this is the thing. Obviously, parish payments are 3 years. So even so, Leicester come up or any of these Luton will have more money now than they ever had in the past 5 years.
But then has that outlay that they've had to spend getting up to Premier League season, has that money already been spent? And that's why they're still really playing with the same team they had last season. Because they've had to go get VAR. They've had to increase the seating capacity.
But that's what the parachute payment now for the next 3 years is up to them to get back up. So you see with Leicester now in the Championship, they're coming straight back up.
Because they already got the dog. But this is so what I will say is, so there's a trend here in a couple of teams, right? Maybe even just one, in fact.
West Brom.
Fulham. Just Fulham. Not even West Brom. It just says so. Right, Fulham came up. Fulham went down. They didn't come up that year, and they come back up a year.
But
so
Fulham have got a big budget for even Championship.
So are they like that in between?
You know,
they need to be 21st team in the
We need like kind of 2014 so they can stay up one more. Do you know what I mean? Because there is a lot of teams, even Norwich, Watford. You know what I'm saying? You got to think Watford was a big team when they was up here. But now you look at them now in the Championship. You don't. You know what I'm saying? They don't look like that team, that Watford team.
And then sometimes you get teams who go to the point of no return, like Birmingham.
Portsmouth.
These lot.
Wigan. Another team who's gone down.
League Two.
You got to think Bolton. You know what I'm saying? JJ Okocha. You know what I'm saying? The streets will never forget it.
It was not long ago. It was Wigan who won the FA Cup against you, man. And that was not why we say it was still 10 years ago now, but
Hull when they won the FA Cup against. Was it Hull or Birmingham who won against Arsenal?
Hull.
Was it Hull?
Yeah, typical Wenger, isn't it?
But this is the thing as well. Where's Hull? Where's Hull? They beat Arsenal. They beat Arsenal, a big team in the league. But where are they now? Do you know what I mean? And this is the thing where I think even personally, FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, it's still not a good amount of money for these smaller teams to be like, right, let's push for this because we're going to get a big wad of cash after the
end. It's like 100k.
And
that couldn't even bloody pay for Salah for a week.
Exactly.
It's not even really enough for the big teams when you think about it. A lot of the teams really until the semi-finals, final. They're using their reserve team.
Yeah.
Unless they're playing in 7, even when they are.
Well, I know that Carabao Cup, the more the FA Cup, they don't really.
But everyone's Tottenham don't win trophies. Tottenham never put a full team out. They should be looking for that. It's something that they can have and say, okay, we've done that. It's something. It's something to give the fans a day at Wembley to cheer about. But it's like they don't take it seriously. They're saying the FA Cup's losing its magic now because no team's taking it seriously. They need to increase the budget and give them something that they want to play for.
It's true.
No, it's true. So there is a big gulf in difference in the teams, but I think personally, it's going to remain like that right now because the money in the Premier League is just ridiculous. So if their Luton does come up, it's finished.
But they need a big
and even loaning
the young percentage of the transfer market, which was just the Premier League. The Premier League alone.
No, wait.
More business than all
just Chelsea.
other leagues added together.
Well, that was Chelsea, just Chelsea. They had more than every other league. So you think of the money that was literally
in the Premier League.
I can understand.
And it's only going to certain teams.
But I can understand why La Liga, Serie A, they you know what I'm saying, they want to build the Super League. I get it because at the end of the day,
we're trading all the money.
Because even if you look at League One, the France, they can't get a broadcaster. Do you know what I mean? So
that would be silly though. They need to keep their own traditional countries. But anyway, we're gonna cut it there anyway. These lot have been moaning about. They want to talk about the Chelsea game, so we'll just break it down as quick as this. We won 4-1, hat trick for Jackson, good performance, but Chelsea actually needed 9 men to play good. So that's all that's happened. Nothing to jump the shot about.
Was it a good performance? Were you happy with the performance?
What, the performance? Playing against 9 men. It's a handicap. It's like me and him fighting you.
Okay,
we're going to win. So Chelsea, whatever. Yes,
but so if Tottenham had 10 men, would you still win the game?
No.
Because they looked like
as soon as Maddison got injured, as soon as Maddison got injured, that was it.
And then they got a red card. And then it took us about 10 bloody shots to even get the goal. Remember they scored an offside goal when there was like 9 men. So listen, short and thick of this, right? These men want to come at me like vultures, right? We won against 9 men. There's nothing to jump and shout about. We got Man City on the weekend. We're gonna get our ass kicked, and that's that. Chelsea, I love Chelsea, but we remain the same dog for the next couple of years. Hopefully not, but hopefully on Monday I'm coming back and we're laughing. But yeah, we'll cut it there anyway. Obviously, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for another episode of Football Checks coming up soon.